Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, Zelrix here. I said it by the past and I'm gonna say it once more, but a movie is more than just a script. Sometimes you have to pay attention to the camera work, the chromatic effect, the movement, etc. All of this is called cinematography, probably the basic of cinema itself, and that's why today I'm gonna do a shot-by-shot analysis of what I consider being the best scene in the MCU, the portal scene from Avengers Endgame. But before that, real quick, if you haven't seen the MCU up until at least Endgame, don't watch this video, it's a spoiler fest. Then, do you know how many ways there are to interpret a scene? The right answer is a lot. So if you interpret this cinematography differently, please leave it in the comment section down below. So yes, this is highly subjective. The scene opens on a close-up on Captain America's face. The camera is dynamic and close to signify that he is down and uncomfortable. The shot is borderline claustrophobic. Next we have a reaction shot of Thanos. He has an arrogant overlord grin on his face, but also seems impressed by the tenacity of Steve. Now we see the broken shield symbolizing the lack of hope and safety, but Steve tightens the strip, going to his hurting reaction. The meaning here is, it hurts, but he refuses to surrender. Meanwhile, the Chitauri are arriving from the sky, symbolizing the alien invasion falling down on humanity's head. But we still are presented with a low angle on Cap to empower him. Why empower a character so powerless in this instance to contrast with that? Cap is alone. The Chitauri army is even invading his side of the screen, but he is right beneath the sun, representing the last hope, setting down and extinguishing. This shot is so gorgeous, by the way. If there is one consistent thing throughout this entire scene, is the fact that all the colors of all the Avengers merge together to create this super brown goldenish tone that is really pleasing to the eye. After that, the famous on your left shot happens. Notice how Steve's left is left empty, so our attention is immediately drawn to the opening of the portal. We then see Steve turn. He sees what opens on his left, but we do not see that, itching our natural curiosity. The portal opens, it respects the rule of third until we can see Okoye, T'Challa and Shuri, where the rule of third follows them instead. Cap is relieved. We see a big wave lifting up his shoulders. After we see Black Panther determined like he was the reason of Steve's relief, and Falcon emerged from nowhere. His apparition is borderline supernatural. This feeling is reinforced by Steve's reaction. He looks up to Sam like he was some kind of deity. Falcon flies as the portal opens. It gives the impression that Falcon himself is making the portal open. In this instance, Sam is represented like an angelic figure, a bit like he was the guardian angel of the Avengers. Next we have Thanos as a reaction shot. We see in his face that he is starting to worry. Doctor Strange is revealed, then follows the Guardian of the Galaxy, and then a low angle on Spider-Man representing power. Cap is clearly happy to see them. Above from the help he's gonna get defeating Thanos, we see how glad he is to see his friends and his allies resurrected. After that, the war cry begins from behind Black Panther. So there, we hear the war cry before we see the army. It feels like the war cry itself is revealing the army. Plus, it establishes Black Panther as a great leader and a great king. Now we see a large shot of the army. Even the warship seems small. That's to show how massive these legions are, how many people have come to fight. Then we have a couple of shots of familiar faces arriving, so we can keep going on and putting on faces on the army we are rooting for. Following, there are Thor and Iron Man. Each gets up from the ground, as if the power of the teammate arriving allows them to arise and fight again. Tony is reacting to something, but we don't know what until we see the next shot of Pepper Potts in her rescue suit. Doctor Strange sets up Wong's joke, but said joke also allowed the diagonal traveling upwards. This traveling helped to sell how massively giant Ant-Man is becoming, right before he drops Rocket and War Machine to the ground, reinforcing the idea of team spirit and the idea of power of the many. Steve turns around facing Thanos. For the first time in this battle, Captain America is looking at the Mad Titan as an equal and not as an unstoppable force. This idea is reinforced by my favorite shot of the scene. Thanos seeing the Avengers, lowering his sword. Notice how the camera is roughly the same angle as the previous shot to symbolize that the Avengers have lifted up to his level. But it is also my favorite shot because for the first time we see Thanos' faces being like,
maybe I'm in trouble here.
And then we have probably your favorite shot, it traveling from the left to the right. The way we write and the way we read. So it symbolizes progression. Then Captain America yells the best line in the entire MCU.
Avengers!
Assemble.
And notice how Steve only occupies half of the screen, so we see the other Avengers behind him, ready for battle, but also they occupy the right side of the screen, thus directing the strength vector towards Thanos' army. The next few shots are there to establish that the two armies are roughly similar in strength and size. And it ends on this shot of the two armies running at each other, converging in the middle of the screen. Very interesting to note that the alien army comes from the top of the frame, like it was falling on the Avengers from above. But also that the Avengers have a larger portion of the screen dedicated to them and that they come from the bottom of the frame, as if they were rising up to an impossible battle. So there you go guys, tell me if you appreciated this breakdown, and if you want more of it, don't be afraid to suggest me some scene to break down as shot-by-shot analysis in the comment section down below. Then subscribe and activate the bell to be notified if a new video comes up. It also helps a lot if you comment and share this video with all your friends, and as always, thanks for watching.